What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Dermy Wormy, and I'm coming at you with a real quick, well, not real quick. I'm gonna suffer through the rest of this and all of this. But, turns out Velma came out, like I said. And I don't just have one episode, I have two. So I'm gonna clip these both together. Hopefully. I just got done with the first episode. It is incredibly brain dead. It says slut, I don't know how many times, is filled with horny humor, stupidity up the wazoo, and their jokes aren't funny. Jokes aren't funny. I've also been watching like South Park again and everything like that. You know, actual adult animated humor. This show has no candle up to South Park. The show doesn't even hold a candle up to Family Guy or American Dad. Like, this is an awful show. So let's go through it. So we start with the initial opening monologue of Velma saying, "Hey, this is my show. This is all about me. This is my origin." And usually when it's a story about a female's origin, it's about how they go crazy. When it's about a man, it's about how they get power. She also takes credit for bringing together the mystery team. Yep, Mindy takes credit for bringing together the mystery team and says, "Nope, it wasn't Fred, that jerk." Actually, I think she says something even more inflammatory, like calling him outright stupid, because yes, these aren't our characters. These aren't our characters. This is Glenn. Glenn is a moron. Not Fred. Glenn is a full-on moron. Constance Wu is a prissy little prick. And Sam Richardson is a wimp. Full on. And oh my god, it's so bad. It's like they took it's like they purposely made it awful. I cannot accept this anymore. So and I have to be careful because this is uberly grotesque. We start with this whole bathroom shower scene where you have Daphne and all her friends in the shower together. And they're talking about how isn't it awful in pilot shows how there's always over-the-top grotesque nudity. And how that's always bad. And everybody's agreeing with her. Everybody's agreeing with her. Except for one lady. One. Who says, no, she doesn't mind it. That's how they saw all these other people's butts and stuff. And how it's always awful. How she doesn't mind any of it. And then girls started agreeing with her. So what does Velma do? And I have to be very careful. She decides, my god, I don't know how to even handle any of this. I'm just going to skip over here. She decides to start, Constance decides to start trying to kill her. So then you get this shadowy figure with a cane come out, knock Constance over to a bunch of lockers. And as our shadowy figure, who definitely is not Mindy Kaling, definitely not Mindy, as she's walking over, she goes like, "Well, because you don't like over-the-top grotesque nudity, what are your thought processes on race changes in shows?" I'm serious. That's an entire line. You end up getting Daphne going like, "Oh, well, as an Asian person, I think that all characters should be played by their original source material." You know, like how we've always been. Then you get the reveal. If I can, you end up getting the reveal that, oh, it's just ugly Velma in the outfit. And I have to be very careful in this scene because they're just making fun of us constantly. They're making fun of fans and nerds all through the show. So they start yelling and saying, "Oh, it's my frenemy." And, you know, they start getting all uppity angry. You get the dumb little friend here saying, if we were, if you two were kissing right now, this would be so totally hot." So then Velma ends up opening her locker, and we get that initial scene of the girl falling out, saying, dying and stuff. And Velma goes like, "Oh my God, she has no brain." And you get I'm talking about her literally not having a brain, not her being stupid. And then the show begins. Yep, the show begins. Was that all supposed to be funny? And I get it. I handed it off very poorly, but I'm telling you, that's how it came off. That is exactly how it came off. You get Velma, you get Mindy. I'm gonna struggle just calling them these people. Mindy in the office, and you get the one actually interesting thing. Well, she's in the police office about to get interviewed by Constance's moms. And then you get the actual kind of interesting part, like random ghost storm. Like, what's this? Oh, we ended up getting that explained away real quick. Backstory and everything, like super fast. Everything gets explained away. Well, you get the introduction of Constance's mom. They start chit-chatting with Mindy and everything, and they say, "Oh, well, you know, when was the last time you were over at our house?" And Mindy says, 2 years ago, after my mom disappeared, that you guys still haven't solved. So we get it off right the back of that. They just, and they also say it, we're just bad detectives. They end up, Mindy tries to leave, and then they pull guns on her, saying, "Nope. They have 24 hours to either solve the murder of this girl or she's going to prison." Yeah. Then they have this whole little folder on Mindy Kaling saying, exposition dump. They end up opening up the folder saying, "Oh, what happened, dear? What happened? You and Constance used to be bestest of friends together." And as they slowly start, they have all these pictures just randomly in her folder. Then Mindy turns the page and she says, "Yep, until your daughter grew up, got hot, became popular, started hanging out with all the other girls at the Scooters bar, and started bullying me." Exposition dump. Constance's mom says, "Oh, well, we'll get over this. You know, just help us figure out how to solve everything. Like, you used to solve mysteries." And she says, then you get this awkward joke of her saying, "I used to," and, you know, staring up and everything. They try to make fun of it by, you know, the intense silence by everybody else being there going like, "Yeah, yeah. Anywho, you gotta solve this or you're going to prison." We cut out front where we get introduced to Fred and Daphne. And if you saw that trailer yesterday that I explained, you get Fred being very dumb and rude, where Mindy, for a moment, comes out and says, "Oh my God, Fred." But in reality, it's Glenn Horton. You get Glenn go like, "Oh, who are you?" And they do that whole back and forth of, well, Glenn can't see ugly girls or remember ugly people. And that he thinks Mindy is Mexican and cheats off her for Spanish. You laughing yet? No? Because I might be changing up what they say and everything, but it is extremely stupid. There's no point. They do dumb back and forth, and then out of the blue, Constance Wu comes running up saying, "Fred, I need you. It's so sad. Did you hear?" Brenda, that's the girl. Brenda died. And she goes like, yeah, it's so sad. I don't remember why Mindy's still there. Anyways, they start making out. And Constance grabs Fred's butt. And Fred goes like, not now. Saying that he's not interested in sex. And Constance goes like, when? I don't remember what the heck Mindy says here, but she ends up having these weird hallucinations again. This was the interesting part. Literally, this was the interesting part. But I'm like, okay, there's something here. It's over the top, but I'm curious what this is. Now, they explain it away here in a moment. Because it's just a hallucination, so you end up getting you end up getting Mindy just there like, go away, go away, go away. You're not real. While Glenn and Constance are just here like, what the heck's going on? We go home and we find out that Mindy's home life isn't the greatest, as she's telling her dad that, hey, you can't just eat day-old soggy fries. You gotta put them in the oven and crisp them. And her dad quips back with, I don't want to hear you talking because I saw you eating a fry out of the dumpster the other day, out of the vacuum cleaner the other day. So we start getting these jokes of, oh, she's just eating fries constantly, wherever they are, whether it's in the dumpster or anything else. Like, she just eats them. You laughing yet? Because I'm not. We then find out that, you have Mindy going like, oh, Dad, why don't you ever pay attention to me? Why don't you ever do this stuff with me? You're a lawyer. Why don't you care about us? And why aren't you acknowledging that I'm struggling here because I could go to prison in 24 hours? And her father just says, well, you were voted most likely to get to seek revenge. Ha ha ha. You end up seeing Daphne just randomly picking up fries and eating them. You see right there, just grabbing fries, constantly eating them. Mindy's all like, well, you know what? We need to be solving why Mom left. Because you're no better. You decided to cheat on her and knock up the scooter's owner and everything. And she's not even that cute. You end up seeing that the scooter's owner is there. Yep, just there. Baby bump and everything. And she just doesn't know anything. Well, no, it was Scooter's waitress who doesn't know how to use hashtag. Where the Scooter's waitress chimes in saying, no, I'm not just a Scooter's waitress. I'm also a Scooter's waitress who's also hashtag the Scooter owner. And apparently they have this whole joke going on of baby bump and, oh, look, it's time to take baby fit pictures. So grab my camera out of my hashtag bags, or grab my whatever, so we can take a bunch of photos. Oh, and by the way, don't worry, Mindy, because you're gonna be super popular now as a new waitress at the Scooter's malt shop. You see you get Mindy screaming because, oh my God, she's a Scooter's waitress. We now cut over to Scooter's, where the popular girls, I guess, are having a wake for Brenda, where you get the dumb popular girl just singing a song about being a whore and a slut. Yeah, I'm serious. That's all you get. They then say, oh, that was her favorite song. It's so sad and everything. Then you get Constance Wu coming in and go like, it's sad to see our friend go, but we know who did it. It was Velma. It was Mindy Kaling. Having the documents here and everything. And we cut over to Velma Mindy as a waitress. Again, while she was bringing the fries over to Constance's mom, she was just eating them. So then you get Constance's mom's going like, oh, we said that in secret. Continuing on that they're just awful detectives that shouldn't be working there. And I get it. It's an adult comedy, but no, they legitimately should not be working there. So Velma just storms off. Well, Mindy just storms off. She goes outside. Can't get back inside. She ends up hearing something like weird coming out around from the other side of the dumpster. And it's Glenn. Then you get Glenn there saying, I'm crying all the time. I'm too much of a puss. I'm too wimpy. I need to be the man my father wants me to be. And we get a picture of her father, and Mindy goes like, man, such a dilf. You're laughing at the fact that Fred's just a little wimpy white boy who can't stand up to being a man like his father. Oh, such a wimp. You then get and this is when the whole, the hallucination backstory comes in. You immediately get all the backstory where Mindy reminisces about her mom and how she used to smoke, and that was the first mystery she ever solved, was the case of her mom smoking, and how she used to love her and everything, and how she was amazing. It was like, oh, this is actually kind of heartwarming, but we should have had this a whole lot later. And her mom always gave her these mysteries to solve the case of the missing idea juice. Then one day Mindy found all the presents because she started doing all of her mystery hunting herself. Oh, look, we got all this stuff, all this mystery hunting stuff. So her mom, feeling sad about Mindy ruining Christmas, she decides to go out and pick up presents so that Mindy could have something to open up Christmas Day. Then you get this, this kind of heartwarming. Then you get the dad coming out saying, hey, don't forget to pick up my present for you. But it turns out her mom disappears, leaving nothing behind but a present and her glasses. So, to justify Mindy's glasses, like the mystery of why she wears glasses, the origin story of the glasses is that they were her mom's. You laughing yet? No? Neither am I. She felt guilty, and ever since then she vowed never to solve another mystery because she thought it ran her mother away, and she's been haunted by hallucinations ever since. So after all that, you get Glenn Horton saying, wow, after that backstory, I'm emotionally connected to you, and I must be able to I want to help you find everything, and I like you now. That's why I'm be able to memorize your name, Mindy, because before he couldn't. Basically telling us, oh, we should have a connection to her now because she spilled her whole life story. Yeah, and I'll say, first part's a little heartwarming, but still it's stupid altogether. Car ends up coming down the other way, and Glenn Horton starts freaking out. Oh, I forgot something. I forgot a little thing. Back at we'll come up. We'll bring it up. Glenn Horton starts freaking out, runs away. Car comes up, stops just before hitting him, and it's Norville Richards. And he's all panicking and freaking out because, and I forgot to show you this and talk about this, when Mindy was leaving the police department, she checks her phone for a brief moment and has constant missed messages and new voicemails from Norville. And he's freaking out because she never responded, and because his dad heard him call her the B word, he took the phone away. So he was worried that she never got or answered any of his VMs, voicemails. And he keeps doing that. VMs, voicemails, VMs, voicemails. Anyways, Mindy kind of snips back and he goes like, well, I know who did it. I know what happened. I know who did it. And Mindy's like, well, why didn't you just answer that? And she goes like, well, I did. In the VMs. And she goes like, well, why don't you tell me who did it? I did. In the VMs. So they start driving. They get that whole I hate drugs scene. And the whole, she was murdered because of drugs. And we get the idea. We get the whole plot. He wanted to do, because he's in charge of the newspaper, he wanted to do something on the newspaper. So he sent Brenda, the smart, the pretty girl, over there. And she said, hey, she got pictures in the bathroom of something strange and weird. So they immediately think, oh, it must be the malt shop owner, because she now has a new camera, because also they're missing a camera. So they decide to go over there and everything to go pick up, to go steal the camera. And they're like, oh, great. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Oh, and Norville says, hey, why don't I do this together? Because when you have your hallucinations, you get all whacked out and stuff. And Mindy goes like, no, that's not a good idea. And besides, you know, it's not like a date. You know, that'd be funny. But this is not a date because I don't like you that way. And Sam goes like, yeah, not a date. Yeah, not a date. So we get this dumb little intro thing where Mindy tries to do some sort of cool roll, grab the camera, fails, just picks it up, sits on the couch because she's trying to be sneaky, because when she comes in, she sees that they're asleep. So she's trying to be all sneaky and stealthy, fails at it, ends up waking up a cat, and then just starts looking through all the pictures. And it's nothing. But then all of a sudden her dad's awake. Well, pretty obvious that her dad's awake. And he says, yes, our deep, dark secret of how we were able to afford this camera and how we were able to get all this stuff is that the scooter lady takes pictures of babies. Babies in outfits and stuff. And if I can get the picture just right. You see, she takes these, you know. Yeah, that's that mystery solved. Anyways, Mindy starts freaking out a little bit and starts seeing a hallucination. I don't remember how. Oh, wait, it was. Well, then who took the camera? So she's starting to solve a mystery. Hallucinations start up. They get really creepy and crazy. She's panicking on the ground. Her dad doesn't know what to do. And so so the waitress lady comes up and goes like, she's trying to solve a mystery. And starts beating on her chest. Waking her up saying, oh, there, it's okay. We'll solve everything. You can trust in me. And Mindy goes like, no, I can't. You need to be solving the mystery of why mom left and why she left. And her dad goes like, well, she left because she didn't love us anymore. And you know, that whole heartwarming bit that I said, oh, well, this is nice, that they ended up trying to force into well, this is how we're going to start liking her and everything. Yeah, they ruin it by showing us all the same scenes just of Mindy Kaling ruining everything. And that's why her mom grew all insane and everything and just left. And Mindy comes to terms with, oh, she wasn't happy here. That's why she just left. So again, the only heartwarming moment was ruined. So now she's all like, oh, yeah, we can solve everything. And yeah, whatever. So Mindy's coming to grips with everything, throws away the present she got from her mom, goes to school the next day all dressed sexy and hot. And everybody's like, oh, my God, you're hot now. You get the football player saying, hey, you want to go out now because you're no longer ugly. You want to go out? And she's like, yes, I'm fabulous. Until some snooty girl says, you ever play cards? Because I'm betting that this is BS. So then everybody just turns on her, immediately starts trying to attack her. I'm serious. Like, one of them throws, she throws a cutting board at her. Fred grabs it. It ricochets off and cuts some dude's leg off. And Glenn goes like, well, Fred, Glenn, whatever you frick you want to call it, because I don't recognize these people as Scooby-Doo characters at all. Glenn responds with, I've connected with this person. I've discussed things. All this person is awesome. I've noticed her. I've noticed this person. And this person is nothing more than a sad little boy. Oh, he's stupid because he mistook Mindy as for a boy. And then everybody just loves him for saying how awesome he is and how he knows she couldn't have killed him, and Constance is all upset. So we go into the bathroom where Constance confronts Mindy, but is stopped because her friend here can't quit using the bathroom and has this whole like, oh, I'm using the bathroom, flushes twice, washes hands, gets back in line. So then Constance just confronts her and saying, I know you did it. I know you did it. And if you want Fred, you can just have him. What? And you get this whole discussion of, well, he's never taken off my pants. You can just have him. And Mindy says, I don't want him anyways. Okay, if there was a nude pic of him, though, I'd love to see it. And, talking about nude images and everything. And Constance goes like, well, I've never even seen his wiener. We've been dating for a year. He hasn't taken off his pants once. He always tells people when he's at the scooter. Oh, yeah. He always tells people when he's at the scooter malt shop to get out if he needs to go to the bathroom. Like, he has to use the bathroom by himself. Nobody else can be in there. This show. Oh, I forgot another thing. We'll get into this, but the Scooters lady, because Mindy did confront her on why people always liked it and why it was so popular, because she thought it was drugs. The Scooters lady said, no, the teens just like it because I let them have sex in the bathroom. So when you connect Fred kicks everybody out of the bathroom. I'm connecting this stuff because I legitimately forgot half this thing. Because this show was so brain dead. Mindy runs into the freaking newspaper office where Norville's typing away, and you see, are drugs destroying your school? How he hates drugs. And Mindy says, it must be Fred. Fred has the camera. Glenn Horton. Fred must be the bad guy. So they drive over there, going to solve everything, and she tells Norville to stay in there. I can do this all by myself. I don't need help. So she gets over the wall with his help. Falls, and you get this stupid joke of, hey, did you fall? No, I landed like a graceful swan. Oh, really? Because it sounded like you fell. And she tells Sam to shut up. So she gets inside the Fred's house, and everything's fine. And all of a sudden, Norville calls, and again, this is playing into the whole beta, and saying, hey, I'm bored. What's up? How are you? And she's like, oh, it's fine. Everything's going well. And then the hallucinations start up. See her mom, and her mom becomes this grotesque monster, and Velma's running around, and Norville says, I thought the hallucinations were gone. I thought that you solved it. And she was like, well, I guess you can't solve mental issues with just a 3-minute Google search. No. So she's being plagued with hallucinations constantly, gets trapped in a room. They start attacking her. And Sam says, no, you can't die. You got to get through this because I love you. I love you. You're amazing. And after he says, oh, you're amazing. I love you. You're freaking amazing. Mindy responds by laughing, saying these are funny jokes. Keep going because it's working. You making me laugh is working. Norville, Sam, whatever you want to call him, pleading his heart out to her, telling her how much he loves her is a joke. Norville's just a joke. So they're laughing and everything, and all of a sudden the cops pull up, flashing the red and blues. Mindy makes it into Fred's room where she grabs the camera, finds it, everything just perfectly there. Starts going through the pictures saying, oh, wow, that's cool. Look at everybody. And as she's slowly making her way through, she sees Fred at least walk up in the pictures. It's very hard to get this because it's just going through pictures. And then you get Fred coming up behind her all menacing and imposing. And she was like, yes, I took the camera from Brenda. And I'm going to do the exact same thing I did to Brenda to you. Because she's found out my secret. And, you know, he opens up his robe to show baby smooth skin. And Mindy goes like, oh, you're hairless? If I was hairless, I'd wear a bikini to school every day. And no, you see, the mystery is that Fred is a preemie. He's a late bloomer. And that he is scared, that his dad told him to keep it a secret because his dad's so masculine and he can't live up to his dad's masculinity. So he's a wimp and pathetic because he's not as masculine as his dad. So they have to keep it a secret because it would ruin their family's lineage and their dad's masculinity. So now he's going to do exactly what he did to Brenda, to Mindy, as he reaches into his, I can't get the shot right, as he reaches into his bathrobe to pull out something, you know, all menacing and imposing, and then out of the blue, 2 shots happen. Oh, it's Constance's mom just shooting randomly into Glenn's leg. I thought we didn't have. Oh, it's okay to shoot. It's okay. You know, this is progressive. This is fine. Them just shooting Glenn is fine. So he's down on the ground, writhing in pain after being shot in both his legs when you can clearly see he wasn't about to pull out a weapon. So they come up, they cuff him, and you get Norville in there and everything. They're like, oh, you know, we were just here because we just needed to bust somebody because we lost the taser recently. That's why we shot him. So now we're going to take Norville away, well, Glenn away because he murdered Brenda. And he hops up going like, murder? I'm too much of a pussy. Literally says that. I'm too much of a pussy to murder anybody. I just paid her off and I was going to pay you off. So then they're like, oh, well then, okay, I guess that's that. I guess we'll have to keep working on figuring out who killed Brenda, but I'm not over my mother's death. And you get this whole moment of, I guess the rules are a little muggy because you're not over it. And she's like, well, I'm not over it. And I'm not like other murderer-solving women who are drunk all the time and border on losing custody. Ha 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 ha. So she reaches into the dumpster, pulls out the present, starts walking back inside as she sees cockroaches all over their recycling bin. So Norville opens it up and we find the dumb friend, Constance's dumb friend, dead and brainless in her recycling bin. And that's the end of the episode. And I have one more episode of these to watch, and I guess I'm watching that for tomorrow because this is so brain dead, so idiotic that I don't know what to do. Screw it. I'll watch it and do a review of it for later today. I guess I will. So with all that, guys, the show is already brain dead. Episode 1 is stupid, and I have episode 2 pulled up, and I'm not looking forward to watching it. But I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch all of this. Let me get your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, share it out with your friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.